So I'll give you some context. I'm a pretty nice person when it comes to remakes, usually. Often I'll be a bit skeptical, but then I'd even say more often than not, I come out on the other side thinking, that actually wasn't too bad. Or really liking movies like Fright Night and Suspiria. I love those original films. So it was a remake, I was like, I don't really care. Then I watched them and I was like, oh, that's actually pretty good. This is not one of those times. What's going on, everyone, and welcome to my review of Child's Play, the 2019 remake of the classic 1988 original. I gave you some context in the intro. This is one I've been not looking forward to talking about. Unfortunately, this is just one that kind of everything just was pointing in the wrong direction. I was thinking that I wasn't going to like this, and I just really didn't. So the film stars Gabriel Bateman, Aubrey Plaza, Brian Tyree Henry, and Mark Hamill, who voices Chucky in this film. And it's about a single mother whose child is a little bit different and a little bit out of it. Doesn't really have any friends, but she decides to bring home this artificial intelligence doll named a Buddy doll. And soon they form a very close bond, and Buddy becomes very protective of his new friend. Does that sound similar to you? If it does, it's because it's the exact same plot as Megan from 2023. It's just, the same plot, except it's been gender swapped. Both the child and the AI doll has been swapped from a boy to a girl. And I think it's funny because I seriously believe that Universal, who own the rights to Child's Play, were like, okay, you're going to remake our film, then we're going to remake your remake, bitch. So while I'm really not a big fan of this film at all, just to get a few things out of the way, I do want to be fair. There are some things I do like about this film. First of all, I do think that this film delivers enough carnage candy and enough goods to, if you're just going to watch it and chuck it on, you just want a bit of gore, you want some cool kills, you're going to get that. There is definitely some points in this film where it's just like, yep, there's some kills there. There's not as much as you would want or even expect, to be perfectly honest. But there's a few scenes where you're like, okay, look, that's kind of cool. You've got, obviously, the Christmas lights scene. You've got the scene in the, I'm going to say Right Mart, but that's the supermarket from Thanksgiving. Whatever the supermarket massacre scene is, whatever the supermarket's called, when Chucky interrupts the video opening of Buddy 2.0 and he's like, it's time to play.
It's time to play.
I like that scene. That's a fun scene. There's, some cool gore and stuff like that. I also think that Gabriel Bateman and Aubrey Plaza are fine in their roles. I think they're serviceable. Gabriel Bateman, he does a good enough job as a kid. He's like an older version of Andy. He's okay. Aubrey Plaza's okay. And I also think Brian Tyree Henry, while he's not a good version of the character of Mike at all, he's always a likable screen presence. So that's something. And lastly, I think that the score in this film by Bear McCreary is excellent. This is, honest to God, probably the best part of the film. I love the score in this film. I often listen to the main theme of it, actually. I think it's awesome. So, yeah. I'm being nice. I said there are some things about this movie that I liked. But let's just go, the main problem, the thing that just gives me the shits more than anything. It's just the existence of this film. There's something about the fact that the Don Mancini, the creator of Chucky, had a TV show planned, and that MGM wanted to remake the original film, do a modern retelling of it. And the fact that if this film succeeded, that could jeopardize the potential of a Chucky TV show. And Child's Play, this remake could have spawned its own franchise when it was completely against Don Mancini's wishes. There's something about that seems really inhuman and just scummy and not ethical whatsoever. Because this guy's dedicated his life to this franchise. Don Mancini, he's done such a great job to keep it going. It's on an absolute high point after Cult of Chucky. And they're just basically like, yeah, but we own the rights to the first film. Technically, Universal owns the rights to the franchise, but we technically own the rights to the first film. So, fuck you. We're using your brand and your name to try and grab a quick buck. And I don't care if it impacts your successfully going strong franchise. I don't care what happens to that. Fuck you. That's what the existence of this film seems like. Not necessarily the people that created it, but the studios behind it. There's something that really pisses me off about that. Now, obviously this film didn't make enough of a splash to affect the TV show in any way. Thank God, because that show is awesome. But I don't like its existence. I don't like the way it was spawned. I don't like the fact that it confuses new fans. The fact that you've got people who think that this is child's play, like, younger generations. That annoys me. I've had people actually speak to me before who are like, oh yeah, have you seen Child's Play? I'm like, yeah, it's one of my favourite franchises. And he's like, what? And I'm like, yeah, favourite franchises. Probably my favourite horror franchise. I'm like, what? There's only one movie. I'm like, So yeah, and I know the original cast members, especially Jennifer Tilly, voiced her disdain for the existence of this remake, which I'm fully on board with. I support her and Brad Dourif and David Kirshner and everything that they have done to keep this franchise going. I love Chucky so much, and I think that this remake is just really, really indecent. Okay, tirade about the existence of this film over. I still just think this film is shit. So, number one problem, I think this is the number one problem for everyone. Chucky looks fucking horrendous. Like, this design has to be either a first draft that they just didn't give a shit about and they're just like, oh, it'll work, whatever. Or it's a joke. Like, Chucky is supposed to be a mixture of funny and creepy. This is just neither. It's just stupid looking. It's like no kid would ever want this. He looks horrible. Mark Hamill, while I like the guy, I don't think he's great as the voice of Chucky. It's a mixture of a lack of personality given to Chucky and just a kind of bit of a deadpan delivery. There's no real personality, even when there's a couple of lines when Chucky's trying to be funny, like, this is for Tupac. It doesn't land. Like, it's just, it sounds silly, it's not funny, it's not creepy. He's just too monotone to really give Chucky any kind of personality, which he really shouldn't be, because he's an artificial doll, like an artificial intelligence doll that essentially has a mind of its own, because it's had everything all the safety precautions just ripped off, so anything that it sees it can adapt to. That could have lent for something really, really interesting, but it's just like a killer robot. That's all it is. And yeah, Mark Hamill, I just thought his voice was average. Maybe that's just the way he was directed to say the lines. The script for Chucky didn't really allow him to do anything funny. I think all the other characters, all the side characters in this film are horrendous. Like, seriously, all the kids, like Andy's new friends, are so annoying. They're all just the stereotypes. You got the really loud, crude, fat fucker. You've got the kind of nerdy, shy girl, and you've got the other one who's a little bit more confident and outgoing. It's just like they're playing off the success of Stranger Things, absolutely, and they forgot the key ingredient about Stranger Things that makes those characters good, is that they're likable. You want to be around them. Yes, they're kids. Yes, they're fucking idiots, but you do enjoy their company. This one, they just say some shit. Like, especially the fat kid. He says some stuff that is just... If someone said that to me, I would not be friends with them. We'll put it that way. He annoys the living fuck out of me, and it's just like, get him off the screen, get him off the screen, get him off the screen. Beyond all of that, this film makes zero sense. There is nothing... Like, it just makes No character in this film makes any decisions that would work. And I understand there are times when you want the characters to be dumb because it's, supposed to be a really fun little movie where it's just like, yep, be as stupid as you want. I don't care what happens to you. Like Splice, for example, or Evil Dead. Like those kind of movies, you're like, yep, I don't care. Fucking read out the Book of the Dead. Go for it. Go for it. This film, it's just annoying. And what's especially annoying is that they're dumb as fuck, so they're just kind of like prolonging the boring parts of the movie. And it takes forever to get to the carnage because the carnage is too infrequent. It's good when it's there, but it's so infrequent. And it's just like, well, if you're going to make the characters this stupid to the point that instead of, getting rid of the severed head of the stepdad guy, immediately they decide to wrap it up in wrapping paper, and instead of saying, I don't know, maybe, it's just a bunch of rubbish from the other night. They came over and we had a shitload of snacks and boxes of whatever. They could have done anything and just said, yeah, we're just throwing it out. But no, they say, oh, it's a present for Mrs. Norris because she's been helping me with my homework or something like that. And then they go and they're sitting there with the severed head. And then eventually Mike finds out and he's like, what the fuck is wrong with you, kid? I'm just like, this could have been so easily avoided if you just, like when your mum caught you throwing it in the bin, if you had just dropped it all down and then just said, just lied about it. Far out. Or there's a part in the end at the supermarket where Andy is being handcuffed and all of a sudden Karen just walks off. And he even says, Mum, where are you going? And she just leaves. Even though the whole supermarket is freaking out and locking down, she just leaves her son. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And then she ends up getting caught and tied up. And I'm like, yeah, you fucking deserve to, you silly cow. I know that this film's all about technology and advanced technology going wrong. But there is a kill in this film where the Bluetooth signal, Alexa, is connected to every single thing. Alexa is connected to the heater. Alexa is connected to the buzzsaw. There is absolutely no heating limits or anything like that. Any safety precautions on that when the guy's, tied up and he's got the heat and then he drops down and severs his foot. There's... If this film was more fun, I would be more focused on the actual fun of the kill. I just wouldn't be so bothered by it. But instead, I'm sitting there watching, I'm like, this is so stupid. Why can Alexa turn on the buzzsaws in this creepy guy's room? Like, what's going on? Or another problem that I'm just ranting now because this film just makes no fucking sense the whole way through. Another problem. How in the name of fuck is the literal self-driving car able to get to the supermarket? When you're seeing the car just going along. No, okay, it's a self-driving car. Whatever. Let's just go with that exists. And it knows exactly how to get to the supermarket. Whatever. How is Chucky able to get to the supermarket before the car? They're both at the exact same spot. And then Chucky's is about to leave and Mrs. Norris gets in the car. And then when Mrs. Norris gets to the supermarket, Chucky's waiting for her. It's just like, what is going on? This is so stupid. Look, this film pisses me off on a monumental level. I love Chucky, and the fact that this film could have potentially hindered the TV show ever existing or being greenlit, that pisses me off. It also pisses me off just the whole spawn of this film. Like, why did you have to do it to Chucky? Like, sure, make a cool concept like this. And do it like what Megan did. Make it your own thing. Don't fucking shit all over Chucky's name. It's not fair. But beyond that, all the problems I mentioned, it's full of logic issues that are so stupid. The characters are uninteresting and dull. Chucky looks horrible. There's no personality given to him. If you're easily entertained, where just a few cool scenes of gore will work for you and make you think, yep, that was a fair enough 90 minutes to spend, then I guess check this one out. But for all the reasons I just listed, I think that Child's Play 2019 is fucking terrible. Guys, thanks so much for watching my review on this film. If you enjoyed this film, let me know, because I do know a lot of people like it. I'm just not one of them, and that's fine. And look forward to me reviewing the TV shows, and I'll see you all later. Bye.